What's up, guys?
These may help the flow.
Is there a Loki Prime? There's a Loki Prime. Like I kind of wanna like try like the whole invincibility feature. God damn it! I don't even have. Do I have like the Prime? Is it Prime? I only have the normal one. Nice. Red got one shot, dude. What the actual fuck? Okay, thank you. there's a third one. Okay. Same. Samaleko. Samaleko. There's another Eldred, which a little bit more shield than me. Samaleko. That? Oh yeah, it's when I'm gonna... Samaleko. What?
My century.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it. I'm still on stuff.
I thought you were doing your nose.
What you doing now?
Well, I'm playing Warframe. What do you do now? Do you want to play Warframe with me?
Yeah, like, I'm at the hospital with you,
That's no excuse. That's no excuse.
I will try to get my computer to try to play it. It will be hard to play with only one shoulder.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Hello, Miss Mom of Mongo. Yeah. I'm a little bit. I'm being an unemployed loser, but I'll eventually like start working and do something productive. I'm a little bit, how do we say, overwhelmed by the events in the United States. Not that it excuses anything, but, you know, I'm just saying, like, it actually affects my morals a lot.
Yeah, for sure. There is a terrible situation.
I'm literally...
I and they're arresting people.
Yeah. I know, it's just fucked up. I honestly, like, in with all the market manipulation stuff, it makes me question what is really like worth about the dollar, you know? Like, it's just like, what's the point if like big banks can control shit, you know? Like, it just kind of fucked me up a bit. And
I'll let you play when I arrive home. I will try to play a little bit of Warframe. I think I can play Warframe with my Xbox controller.
yeah, you can. Warframe has like, did you know that Warframe was on Switch?
What?
Warframe is on Switch. You know the Nintendo console?
I didn't know that.
It's so optimized that a little console like the Nintendo Switch can play it at like medium to low graphics. Like, the game is well done. To be fair, it's yeah. To be fair, it is. My bad. I'm sorry. When you arrive home, me first. Okay, me first. The game has been out for like 10 years, more than that, since 2013. So it makes sense that it is really well optimized, and they put a lot of love into it. And like a lot of like AAA game nowadays. Anyway, so when you arrive home,
I will be at home probably after 19. Yeah, about waiting for your thing.
so you're gonna be gooning.
Yeah, I'm going.
You're gonna be.
Hopefully, I think not like my left hand now. So I don't know if I will really be playing the game today.
It's okay. You always have your other arm to goon.
Okay, I will let now. I think I will watch a little bit of TV.
All right. Well, it was nice talking to you. I'm glad you're okay, and I hope you're gonna come back eventually on Discord so we can chill. It's been a while, by the way. I was starting to like, not starting, but it's been a while. I was wondering where you have been gone, so I was like, okay, he's probably like doing his study stuff, really busy with his exam and shit. I didn't want like to bother you too much, because sometimes I just call you randomly for no reason. Well, well, well.
You can call me.
Okay. Okay, well, I'm not gonna bother you more. Okay, well, see you later if you are available. Goodbye.
Thank you.
What a bitch. What a fucking bitch. What a fucking loser. Fucking loser. I'm glad he's okay, I'm gonna be honest. Like I saw his, it seems like it was a big thing. I don't know what happened, I don't remember. He probably told me, I forgot. I'm not good with that. I'm trying to do more DPS than turning green. He's really strong, dude. I guess so. I guess it's good. If I had Crepuscule, Arcade, my DPS will have raised the fuck out. Because I will have I notice. Oh, the word's not anywhere. Okay, I'm getting near him. I'm tracking his ass. What Warframe did he have? Turning green. Uriel. And it's a rank 22, so his build is not even finished and he beats me. That's crazy. This guy is dangerous. A real menace.
Hunting with a command. We used to set them on combats back in my day. Splendid for working around.
36. I just got lower from 37. Yep, this guy is really fucking strong with his Uriel. Like, really fucking strong. The dude is doing so much DPS. That's crazy. I'm not even able to, like, keep up, and I'm doing million each hit. Oof! Oof! What the fuck? You got shit on, bitch. If you're broke, board, just say so. Side. Where the fuck is it? GG's. Oh! Oh. Oh, this is my. This is the time where I'm gonna do so much damage. He's never gonna be able to. reset. Oh my god. How the fuck is he doing so much DPS? I'm actually impressed. Okay. Holy shit. This is cooked. Fuck, dude. this. Now I'm at 33 and he's at 52. I'm never gonna be able to beat him. Unless he fucking leaves.
Phantoms shall not touch you.
None of these make sense. Oh, here's my chance. Here's my chance to beat his ass. Nope, not even close. He's still way ahead of me, dude. And he did less kill, and he's doing more DPS. Fucking crazy. He's a threat. Come on, come on. Just 1 little percent. I bet he's not even reaching my DPS. Still 34. 33, my bad. This one is gonna be a bit easy because it's just balls, and the balls goes in my field like this. Oh. Oh, what's up, dude?
Like fleeting thoughts that escape one's grasp, these devices spoil us.
Dirty bar! Let's go. $34. I'm gonna beat him. It's not about winning. It's about proving a point. Where the fuck is this horde? Where's the ball? He's back at 52. These fucker. 32! What the hell? What the hell? I'm flabbergasted. guest and flabber. Ha! Back to 33, motherfuckers. That's what I thought. I'm the best in the game! Woo! Come on, 34. Can we get a 34? Can we get a 34? Honestly, if I get 40 by the end, which I will not because we're reaching the boss, and my frame is inefficient against boss, I win. I'm the winner. But if I get... There's a chance. There's a chance. There's a chance. I just need to kill as much as possible. God damn it. Why don't they open the chest? Where the fuck is the... Yeah, I'm not. He's way too strong.
I remember training for life, comrade. I do not miss it.
What the dog doing? 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 And I lost 34%. I'm pretty sure it's gonna go at 32 because his damage output is just better. It is what it is, guys. That's life. this point, I'm gonna have the entire set of Uriel without even breaking a sweat. I mean by that, I mean like not buying any pieces. I think there's only like one piece I miss. Yeah, there's only the... Wait, there's two pieces. Why do I always get the chassis though? That's kind of weird. Anyways. Oh shit, are you dead ass?
It only gets worse from here. We're going back into the 3 million documents. So far, we mostly covered how billionaires lied about their relationship with Epstein and or got blackmailed in the drafts, eventually killing their marriage. We talked about Howard Lutnick, how he lied about meeting Epstein, although he still denies this. And we also talked about some horrible accusations against Trump and Bill Clinton, although we were clear that they are unverified. Now, some people have responded to the release, like Elon Musk, saying that no one fought harder for the full release of the Epstein files than I did. Ironically, he claims that he knew that the playbook of the far left propagandists and legacy media is admit nothing, deny everything, and making counter accusations, saying he had never set foot on Epstein's creepy island or attended parties, despite the fact we saw last time that Elon was asking to be invited to the party. What day and night would be the wildest party on your island? Nevertheless, I think it's an interesting point. The playbook, as we get into this much darker side of the 3.5 million files, you're gonna notice this trend is true, that everyone we're gonna talk about, basically they admit nothing, they deny everything, and then they usually make counter accusations against other people in the files. Almost no one has faced any kind of consequences for this whole thing, leading me to wonder, why is it that it seems like really only in the rest of the world has anyone faced anything? I mean, you've got the former Prince Andrew losing his title. You've got the Slovakia National Security Advisor resigning over the Epstein links. But in America, I'm really hard-pressed to think of anyone who has actually faced any kind of accountability. I think Larry Summers stepped back voluntarily. But other than that, it's hard to think of anyone who's faced any kind of justice. In fact, arguably, Ghislaine Maxwell's life is better than it was previously since these Epstein files have dropped. And what's crazy about this is that we know that the government story is false. Remember, the FBI documents showed they had 10 co-conspirators they were investigating. We also got an old draft of an indictment where they had several co-defendants with Epstein. Now, of course, we know these were never ultimately charged. This was back in 2005, but just imagine all the way back in 2005, where these charges are from, we already had evidence that Epstein was not working alone, and like, of course he's not. But now we're gonna talk a little bit about how the scheme operated. Now, to be clear, we're gonna talk in a second about the laundering of Epstein's reputation, the people who protected him this whole time. But right now, I wanna talk about how Epstein got some of these girls in the first place, because the Epstein files provide an interesting look behind the curtains. Obviously, we know Ghislaine Maxwell was helping, whether it be procure the girls, talk them into stuff. But now we have emails of a different side of the scheme. It says, yesterday I spoke to Daniel Syed, who Jean-Luc Brunel describes as a scout or recruiter of girls or women for Jeffrey Epstein. Attached to this incoming email from Brunel is the contact information he has for Syed. And then they blacked out his number and email. But digging into Jeffrey's emails with Daniel shows that he was constantly sending him links to girls. It shows Jeffrey Epstein paying Daniel 3,000 euros, which, to be clear, was the amount that was agreed to by Jean-Luc Brunel. Quote, Dominique, we will pay him 3,000 euros each month for scouting for a 6-month period. On all models we will get him, we will pay him 5% commission on their earnings. Imagine it's like baseball or it's like basketball. You're scouting for, I hate to use the word talent, but that's really what this guy was doing. He was going around the globe trying to find people for Jeffrey Epstein and Jean-Luc Brunel. According to one lawsuit, Epstein trafficked a Jane Doe to Jean-Luc Brunel many times. It describes their operation as this: many of the girls came from poor countries or impoverished backgrounds. He lured them in with a promise of making good money. Quote, Brunel has been a model scout for various modeling agencies for many years, and he was apparently able to get U.S. passports for young girls to work as models, eventually, of course, being sent to Jeffrey Epstein. Now, it should be noted that Jean-Luc Brunel himself died in prison by hanging, and that's while he was being accused of horrible crimes related to trafficking and minors. So this guy is not a good guy. He was part of the op along with Daniel Syed, who was also scouting on behalf of Epstein and Jean-Luc Brunel. They had their agreement. Here's a sample of how this would work. Jeffrey Epstein asked him to take a full body shot of someone. Daniel Syed says, now she is really skinny, I will do Polaroid. Jeffrey Epstein asks for a copy of her passport and then asks, how many tickets do you want for Woody, meaning Woody Allen? He says 2. Okay, thank you. Full body if possible. And then Jeffrey Epstein says, doesn't look too happy. Comments on her body, and then he says she is very sweet. I'll skip a few of the sordid details here. They comment about her body extensively. And then Jeffrey Epstein says, I sent a request. Does she want to come out to Paris on Sunday? He says, I will invite to come. And this is basically how it worked. Daniel Syed flew around the world looking for women, sending photos to Jeffrey Epstein, who then would get copy of their passports and bring him to the States. Here's an example of this. Daniel Syed brings him a girl. They didn't redact this name, but I'm going to do it. He says, very nice, easygoing, dream to work in United States or visit the United States working as a model in Dubai. He asks age. Daniel says 22 or 23. I forgot to ask her. She looks younger. I have her number if you want to call her. She was going to send this evening. And this happens over and over. At one point, he talks about a Thai actress. Jeffrey Epstein says he can see her on Wednesday, and then he complains that she wants to meet in a restaurant. I don't do that in New York, and then says she didn't even respond. Not nice. The point is, a lot of these girls were looking to come to the United States for one reason or another, for some kind of dream. They would ask for passports or visas, and then ultimately get sent here by this network of people who would later be accused of trafficking or other abuses. Now, to be clear, there have not been charges against Daniel Syed, and the government, remember, says they have no evidence to go even predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties. So it's a little bit bizarre to be reading about this scouting operation for Jeffrey Epstein, the way he recruited girls, and then be told, yeah, nothing to see here. Yeah, one of the scouts was like this, like, who himself in jail. But no, there's no one else here, even though there's definitely guys floating around. Even though we literally have redacted defendants in our old draft of an indictment. We have nothing to do. We can't possibly imagine doing anything. And that brings me to one of the frustrating parts of these whole files is the redactions. I mean, I know I've been over this, but it's a different thing. In the past, the files were sort of overly redacted to protect people. The problem this time is not only are a lot of people still being protected, like literally the names of the people they were going to charge, you couldn't argue those are victims, but the work was just done so sloppy that oftentimes you'll find that the DOJ has uploaded 2 documents that are functionally identical, and they redacted one but not the other, letting you see what's ultimately behind the mask, which is dumb because sometimes the thing they're redacting is Jeffrey Epstein's name. Or other times it's somebody who clearly is not a victim, because then you see the non-redacted copy and you're like, yeah, that's clearly not a victim. So it's a little strange what they seem to have done here. Let me give you a for instance. So we have this message from somebody whose name is blacked out, and we see participants, and then we see Jeffrey Epstein is involved, right? And it says, we need to work around your 38. We need to push back on the lies, then crush the pedo trafficking narrative, then rebuild your image as a philanthropist. Now, I want to know who's doing that. Who's trying to rebuild Jeffrey Epstein's image, right? Well, we go ahead, we scroll down, and we see that Jeffrey Epstein sends something. He says, in any bar where drinking age is 18, and you see the participant is once again blacked out. But underneath it, in a separate file, we see Steve Bannon, a famous political figure, is in here, and he's saying the same thing. He says, first, we need to push back on the lies, then crush the trafficking narrative, then rebuild your image as a philanthropist. Guys, why did you censor out his name? Or like, why was that censored at all? I don't understand. And I certainly don't understand why Jeffrey Epstein's name in this one is censored. So Jeffrey's not censored in this one, but Bannon is, and then Bannon's not censored in this one, and Epstein is. And sometimes this creates the bizarre impression that they are censoring for victim names or for some like kind of victim status or for some reason. And then you see the other file and you're like, wait, why did you do this? It's just very poorly done throughout. That's just something I wanted to comment on, is not only did they once again not fully redact things because they were sloppy, but also like victims' names got stuck in this. Like girls' names appear sometimes, and like I'm not sure, are they supposed to be redacted? Because they're redacted over here, they're not over here. I can kind of figure out who it is. It's just kind of a mess. I needed to point that out. You know, other times we have things like this, like Brock Pierce, a co-founder of Tether, also known as the biggest stablecoin in the world. He sent a message to Jeffrey Epstein with the subject line Anastasia, and then it's just a bunch of redacted stuff with a few untitled JPEGs in here. And so, you know, you're thinking to yourself, what is this? Is he sending some illicit media? Like, what is this? Well, then we have this page where it wasn't redacted. I put that little dark square that I didn't know if this should have been redacted or not. It's like a bunch of JPEGs. Now, does that contain victims? Is Brock Pierce sending photos of victims? I don't know because of the way the government did this. But underneath, it says, the Ukraine is now my favorite country, smiley face, Brock Pierce, with the subject line Anastasia. I don't know what to make of that. I'm just saying the redactions, like the way they did this, is not good. But now let's return to Steve Bannon and his we're gonna crush the trafficking narrative, because this guy, oh boy, has been revealed in the files to being like Jeffrey's right-hand PR man. I mean, this guy was filming basically a documentary about Jeffrey Epstein in order to rehabilitate his image. And some of it has actually leaked to the public. It's been interesting to watch how that's been received. But the funny thing is that originally Jeffrey Epstein's plan was to just do a YouTube video, like an apology, like a old school 2016, turn on the camera for authenticity and saying, you know, he says, do you think I can do my own video interview and upload it to YouTube? No sandbagging, interview format, or like a diary piece. Steve Bannon says, if you do an interview, it can't be like Johnny does a YouTube. It has to be amazingly professional and perfectly cut. Then Jeffrey Epstein responds, Woody, we assume Woody Allen, because they were close, said he would help edit. Not sure how to stage, what points to make. But better than trying to do an interview that I have no experience doing. Goal is to humanize the monster. Anything written carries little weight, to which Steve Bannon replies, yes, Jeffrey Epstein, should it be an interview format, interviewed by me? They start talking about, like, how do we do this? Humor, apology, how did I get rich? Question mark, topics. Their brainstorming, how do we trick the public into seeing me as more than a monster? Now, funny enough, right before this, Jeffrey Epstein asks about a dinner with Woody, and then he says, or too many pedos in one place. And you gotta love the self-awareness there. Now, I don't know what he meant by that. To be clear, I'm not making that accusation against Woody Allen. We'll talk about him in a second. That's Jeffrey Epstein saying that. I think what's interesting to point out, though, is how all these rich and powerful people are circling the wagons to try to protect Jeffrey Epstein's reputation, right? This is a guy who at this point has been known for years to have pled guilty to these 2008 charges. This was an open secret. And so Steve Bannon goes along though anyways, and he films this documentary. Now what's interesting is he starts talking about the documentary and he starts saying, I'm watching our second hour now. Guys were blown away. I didn't think it was strong at the time, but I was wrong. Need huge part about threat of AI versus reality, threat of climate change. And this is where the notes start going back and forth of how can we get you to think of other things? So part of the conceit of this big interview of Jeffrey Epstein was to try to humanize him and actually present him as this genius, everyman, quirky guy with a few flaws, right? They knew they couldn't run away from the crimes. To quote, in Bannon's words, yes, 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 of course, but we must counter rapists who traffics in female children to be by world's most powerful, richest men. That can't be redeemed. Can't redeem the unredeemable. You are a lot of things which we will show, but you are not that. Bannon is aware that, like, they can't fully embrace the Epstein thing. They have to kind of make it about more than that. And if you see the YouTube clip going around, that's what that is. And it's been so interesting to watch the reaction because you see, even for people who've been prepped with the idea that this is basically propaganda, some of them still fall for it. They post things like, you know, oh, bro is casually confirming the world's conspiracies because he's talking about 2008. But guys, that's the whole deception. They're like trying to be like, hey, this guy, this horrible monster, he's going to tell you the secrets of the inside club. So you think more. That's the whole thing. That's how they're getting away with this. It's not some kind of, oh, he happened to want to talk about this. This is all premeditated. This has gone through revisions. They even called Jeffrey Epstein the smartest guy in the room.
Look, you're the smartest guy in the room, right? You know that.
It's honestly ridiculous anyone believes the false conceit of, you're obviously the smartest man in the room. You could tell us the world's secrets. I mean, this guy, honestly, he talks about some of his engagements, like with the Rockefeller board, and he tries to say that owning a calculator is why he got that.
It was very advanced in those days to have a Texas Instrument calculator, where it could, by putting in the numbers, it would multiply for you to do square roots. And that was the first, and everyone who had a calculator was already advanced on Wall Street. The most important parts of business were really now going to calculations. Places like Rockefeller needed someone to say, look, we're entering a different world where numbers and the numbers of companies, portfolio management was going to be balanced, it was going to be statistical. Jeffrey, could you come on the board, potentially sit on the finance committee?
So we're honestly supposed to believe that Jeffrey Epstein got onto this prestigious Rockefeller board because he had a calculator, but also that he's the smartest guy in the room, the smartest man on Wall Street. And let's not talk about those horrific crimes he committed because, you know, he's not really such a bad guy after all. But it wasn't just Steve Bannon that was trying to humanize or giving advice on how to humanize Epstein. It was also Richard Branson, the famous billionaire. He was caught emailing Jeffrey Epstein saying, "Dear Jeffrey, it was really nice seeing you yesterday. The boys in water sports can't stop speaking about it. Anytime you are in the area, would love to see you as long as you bring your harem." I don't know, that's not that ambiguous, guys. I think we can imagine what that means. But anyways, he says, one, I think if Bill Gates was willing to say that you've been a brilliant advisor to him, that you slipped up many years ago by sleeping with a 17-and-a-half-year-old and were punished for it, that you've more than learned your lesson and have done nothing that's against the law since. And yes, as a single man, you have a penchant for women, but there's nothing wrong with that. Anyway, something along those lines. He's giving him PR advice. How to get your reputation back. Hey, Jeffrey, privately, I loved you. You can come back anytime with your harem. Jeffrey Epstein responds, so nice seeing you. Thanks for your hospitality. I appreciate your public relations thoughts. Now, according to the New York Times, a Branson representative said the two had a business meeting and stressed the women were adults and had not attended the meeting. All above board. That's what everyone says, by the way. Remember what Elon Musk said, right? That's the playbook. Admit nothing, deny everything. Speaking of, remember Howard Lutnick, who we showed on video saying that he had never seen Epstein since 2005.
So I was never in the room with him socially, for business, or for even philanthropy. If that guy was there, I wasn't going because he's gross.
Although also calling him the greatest blackmailer ever.
This guy was the greatest blackmailer ever.
Well, also according to the Times, Lutnick said he spent zero time with him, even though there are emails basically to the contrary, where Epstein is saying, nice seeing you after the conviction. I mean, these people, not only are they lying, they won't even admit when they've been caught lying. But now let's talk about Prince Andrew, too, who was caught lying over a woman at some kind of a party. I mean, just not a good, this is not doing you any favors, you know. I know Prince Andrew soon will probably be on the comeback tour. It's going to be a bunch of highly paid PR execs. Maybe Steve Bannon can jump in, shoot another 5-hour podcast trying to rehabilitate him. Like, Prince Andrew, what's the secret behind the royal family?
Look, you're the smartest guy in the room.
But again, has he admitted anything? Has he denied everything? Now, we should also probably talk about Noam Chomsky as well, the guy behind the book Manufacturing Consent, which in hindsight, maybe we should have suspected something. But either way, he also sends some reputational advice to his buddy Jeffrey Epstein. He says, I watched the horrible way you've been treated by the press and public. It's painful to say, but I think the best way to proceed is to ignore it. When the vultures dearly want is a public response, which then provides a public opening. In general, I think it's best not to react unless directly questioned, particularly in the current mood. That's the best advice I can think of. Noam. Now, he sends that to Matthew Hiltzik of Hiltzik Strategies, who is a also famous PR guy, I guess, trying to help Epstein, I assume, who responds, I think that is wise. Now, later talking with Bannon, Epstein loops in Hiltzik again. He says, Matt Hiltzik thought your idea was epic. Hypocrisy of the liberal left. And he says, yep, he would confidentially like to sit and help if you like. This is Matthew Hiltzik. You know, a lot of powerful people basically were bending over backwards, left, right, center, trying to rehabilitate this guy's image. And the question is, why? Why were all these guys so interested in their precious Jeffrey Epstein if they had no involvement? I mean, that's the part I can't figure out it, because all of them deny it. All of them don't admit anything. And so what exactly is the problem? But now it's time to talk about Elon Musk's brother, Kimball Musk. He was also in the files. Jeffrey was copied on an email talking about Kimball's 40th birthday, where the password to the secret party was riot. And then in all caps, Boris, the sender of this email, says, I am not joking about the password. This was in 2012 in September. Now that's important because a little bit later, Kimball Musk is emailing Boris Nikolic and Jeffrey Epstein, and he's talking to them about being connected with some redacted name and saying, I believe you both played a role, whatever that means. Now, whether this was at the party or right after their meeting in October, I don't know. But what's interesting is Boris responds and says, Kimball, just FYI, you better be nice to redacted. Jeffrey goes crazy when someone mistreats his girls/friends, so better be very nice to her. Kimball Musk responds, message received, wide and clear. Then he says, seriously, I'm very happy with my time so far with Jennifer. She's great. Now again, was that supposed to be a redacted name we just read? Like, I don't know. They've been redacting it in earlier emails, and all of a sudden you just get Jennifer. I can't really figure that out. But what I can figure out is that a little while later, a few days later, Jeffrey Epstein gets an email. Now we know Kimball credits the meetup and says Boris and Epstein were responsible in some way for this. But now Jeffrey Epstein's being emailed about Jen's schedule. Is that Jennifer? I mean, it seems like it because Jen's schedule for the rest of the year, and it seems like the assistant has copy and pasted Jen's response because she says, Sue, these would be dates in November, and then starts saying, this, she can go to New York. She says the 29th to the 7th, she's free. Kimball to New York. Then she says, Kimball, Jen, London. Kimball, Jen, London to Morocco, ? Then she has a break, and then it's Jen, Kimball, St. Bart's, assuming we're not sick of each other by the end of November. Now, I can't figure out why is she running this schedule about when she's hanging out with Kimball, who Jeffrey set her up with. Like, why is she running this by Elon Musk? To be clear, I don't know. There could be, I guess, innocent explanations for this. Maybe, I don't know. But all I see are constant, powerful people either being introed to girls, talking about the harem, talking about beautiful ladies, and the FBI, they can't figure it out. They have no evidence to even investigate third parties. Why? I guess because they're rich and powerful. Around the world, we're seeing resignations, we're seeing people lose their status. But here in the United States, we've got multiple presidents in the files. We've got the world's richest man in the files, several of the world's richest men in the files, and we just can't drum up any kind of evidence. It's just incredible to me. Now, I also want to talk about another rich and powerful person, and that is Peter Attia. He's a podcast bro. He's a longevity expert. And actually, funny enough, I read his book. And that's going to come into play here in a second because, oh boy, did I get some additional context. But let's start here with something that Peter Attia sent Jeffrey Epstein. He says, subject, got a fresh shipment. And then Epstein responds, me too, and there's a completely redacted image. Is that a girl? Or is this bad redactions? We don't know, although we'll find out in a second because later Peter responded to this. But Peter says, please tell me you found that picture online. Jeffrey responds, got a fresh shipment, afraid not. Peter responds, the biggest problem with becoming friends with you. The life you lead is so outrageous, yet I can't tell a soul. Why, Peter? Why can't you tell a soul? Why don't you tell us now? Now that it's all out in the open, why don't you tell us why you can't tell a soul the secrets or the life that Epstein leads? And then we get another redacted photo, right? And then some more images, and Peter says, please tell me that's not where you actually are. And Jeffrey says, you can see the gym in the middle, just me and 4. And Peter says, I think you might have a more interesting life than the Dos Equis guy. Is this off the coast of France? No, it's my island in the Caribbean near St. Thomas. If you go to Google Earth and type in Little St. James. Beautiful. Isn't that nice? Behind closed doors, it's beautiful. In public, we'll hear about what a monster this guy is, right? But behind closed doors, when nobody's watching, oh, it's beautiful. There's some other stuff Peter Attia said, which I'm not going to get into. I don't think it's very, appropriate for medical professionals to be saying such things. But, this wasn't all business, right? This wasn't just doctor-patient kind of stuff. There's a lot of guy talk, a lot of banter between the fellas about ladies. And maybe that's why Peter Attia says that hopefully Jeffrey Epstein is in town when I'm back in 2 weeks. I go into Jeffrey Epstein withdrawal when I don't see him. So guys, these two were close. I mean, apparently so close that, Peter Attia goes into withdrawal when he doesn't see him. Peter Attia says, are you on island? Jeffrey Epstein says, P Beach, probably Palm Beach. And he says, what do you do when you get there? Jeffrey Epstein, guess. Peter Attia, besides that, I mean, they're not even trying to hide it, guys. This is barely code at this point. What do you do? Guess. Well, besides that, Jeffrey, we know what you do, right? So it's so funny that the FBI's like, we don't know. We can't tell what's out there. We have no evidence, right? No evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties and then proceed to dump on us a ton of evidence. At least to investigate, right? I'm not saying these people are guilty. Obviously, all of them deny, don't admit, blame other people, say other people are responsible for everything. So that is taken as a given. I am not accusing anyone here. I'm just saying, seems like we got a few leads here, fellas. Some people to look at. Now, I want to address the fact that Peter Attia has actually responded to this whole debacle. He says the following email is what I sent my team last night. I sent a similar version to my patients as well. You put your trust, your credibility, your hard work, what we built together, and I take that responsibility seriously. You deserve a complete and honest account of what did and did not happen. I apologize. I did not get this out sooner. I wanted to be thorough. He says, I was not involved in any criminal activity. My interactions had nothing to do with his abuse or exploitation of anyone. I was never on his plane, never on his island, never present at any parties. That said, I apologize and regret putting myself in a position where emails, some of them embarrassing, tasteless, and indefensible, are now public. So it's this apology. He addresses some of the things. And he says that some of it's just banter, right? Like I said, it's just guy talk, whatever that means. He claims that his got a fresh shipment was in reference to a photograph of bottles of metformin, and then Jeffrey responded with a photograph of an adult woman. I responded with crude, tasteless banter. He says one line in that exchange about his life being outrageous and me not being able to tell anyone is being interpreted as awareness of wrongdoing. That's not how I meant it at all. What I was referring to poorly and flippantly was the discretion commanded by those socials and professional circles. The idea you don't talk about who you meet. I don't know, Peter. This seems like revisionist history. A little bit. I mean, personally, to me, as I'm viewing this, third hand, right? Just from the outsider perspective. Now, Peter says he did ask Jeffrey about his 2008 conviction, because all this happened afterwards, right? He characterized it as prostitution-related charges. In 2018, I learned that this was grossly minimized. I was incredibly naive to believe him, and then later explains that in 2018, November, he read the Miami Herald investigative article, told him he needed to accept responsibility for what he did, and said he even asked Epstein to provide therapy to Epstein's victims, which is an interesting approach to have here. Now, the funny thing is, there are some more emails between Peter Attia that we need to read, because remember that he said he read this 2018 article from the Miami Herald. I believe it's this one by Julia K. Brown in November 28th. It's about Jeffrey Epstein assembling a large cult-like network of underage girls. But in December, Peter Attia says, home is very good, work stressful, making some changes. He asks him, what's the fallout from the recent story? Apparently talking about the Miami Herald. Now, maybe I just didn't see the emails, that where he was demanding accountability. I don't know what that's about, but Jeffrey Epstein says, same as usual, just tougher. Peter Attia says, legally, any change. Jeffrey Epstein, 0. So, I don't know. Maybe this whole, you gotta provide therapy to, these victims happened. I haven't seen it yet. I definitely could see it. But it's just kind of shocking. I just kind of don't buy it. Like the whole, is there any change legally? That more sounds like you're covering yourself. I mean, just to be honest. But maybe I could look past all of that if not for the thing we're about to see, which just in my mind is maybe the worst thing I've seen in the files. Not for its, explicitness, the amount of simping that people did for Jeffrey Epstein. Now they all say, oh, it was a personal mistake, blah, blah, blah. I regret it. I didn't look into it enough. But the level is just, you've never seen anything like it. So Remember I said I read a book by Peter Attia. It was called Outlive, and he's supposed to be this doctor who knows a lot about longevity. So he writes it, and I picked it up because at the rate we're getting rid of these crimes, I need to live forever in order to try to stop some of these scams. But as I pick up this book, and one of the things in the book is Peter Attia kind of reflecting internally about how he's kind of been a bit, and I'm paraphrasing here, but a bit of a psycho in his life, and he needed to focus on family stuff. And so he kind of, it's almost a confessional of some embarrassing things in his life. And honestly, it comes off as very vulnerable, very self-reflective. You know, he's this doctor telling other people what to do, but he's not a very good patient. That's kind of how it comes off. And one of the stories is awful. I won't go too much into it, but basically his son has this horrible medical emergency. It's described in this book like this. A few months ago, Tuesday, July 11th, 2017, that date is important. At 5:45 to be exact, I received a call from Jill, my wife. She was in an ambulance with our infant son. Now again, I'm not gonna get into the details here because, it's tragic and I'm not trying to bring that into it. What is relevant is that Peter Attia talks about how he stayed in New York and didn't show up because he was, quote, busy with his important work. Even today, just thinking about what happened, I feel nauseous about my behavior. I can't believe I did that to my family. Now, at the time I read that and I was like, well, it's at least as good that you self-reflected on that. It's horrible, but, yeah, you were a bit of a psycho. But what's crazy, now we find out some of the important work, it's a little unclear, but some of the important work may have been Jeffrey Epstein, which is just, it's so dark to imagine. Remember, he says July 11th, 2017 is when this all happened. And then he says he did not come home to San Diego until Friday the following week, 10 days later. So July 11th, 2017, 2 days after this happens, he's talking to Jeffrey Epstein. And they seem to be coordinating about something. Sure, what time? Jeffrey Epstein, 9:30. Peter Attia responds, sure, I can come earlier. Also, if you have a hard stop at 10, let me know. You're hanging out with Jeffrey? I don't even know what to say. This is out of pocket. There's no explanation for this. I didn't see this in the response from Peter. Maybe he thinks he addresses it because he already admitted that was like scummy, but that is just, there's a reason that didn't make it in the book, is what I'm trying to say. I didn't see that in the book when I read it. I didn't see, I was actually, one of the things I needed to do, my important work, was seeing or talking to Jeffrey Epstein. Isn't that weird? Like, that's the simping that I'm talking about, is these people love this guy. Or that's how it seems to me. Like, what are all these rich and powerful people doing, protecting him, missing emergencies for Jeffrey, fawning over Jeffrey, asking for Jeffrey's harem, saying their biggest problem is the life they lead is so outrageous they can't tell us so. What is going on here? And is it true they all didn't know, right? Because, I'm reading these documents, and it's hard to say who exactly knew what, when. But I don't believe, remember, they're all denying it, I don't believe nobody knew, right? Clearly, some people knew what was going on, and there's all this kind of coded language in the files where they talk about this stuff almost in like a nudge kind of way. Here's some Woody Allen stuff. He was in the files. He says his business office, if you can make out the check to me, it looks very bad because then it looks like a gift to me. He says that to Epstein. He says, I don't want to be one of your women, or should I say, girls. And what's that? Oh, how do we, come on, guys. Woody says, I would be much more expensive than your girls. You wouldn't be able to afford me. Jeffrey responds, yes, the price to pay would be too high. Woody says, this will be a beautiful friendship. And then Jeffrey says, as long as I follow orders, smiley face. Woody Allen sends a message saying Woody says the exact same thing, but in a dirtier way. Jeffrey responds, what did he say? Woody Allen, are you kidding? I can't put it in writing. No evidence, no evidence. How? Come on, I think I see a little bit of evidence. I'm squinting, but I think I can see a little bit of evidence. Guys, like Jeffrey Epstein right here, where he's talking to a guy, he says, Paris with Woody, and the person responds, for le pedophile convention. And Jeffrey says, I think pedophile is the plural. I mean, no evidence. I mean, is that no evidence? That's nothing. We don't even want to question these people. There's no investigations going on. So, yeah, it's honestly really sad to see how, look, I'm not saying people around the world are having crazy consequences, but a few people are resigning, thank goodness. You know, a few people are at least facing a little bit of scrutiny, but here Elon Musk lays out the playbook, apparently for our guys. You know, we admit nothing, we deny everything, and we blame others. We just push the spotlight onto other people. And unfortunately, that's what you've seen the whole time from all the people in the files. You know, all of them say, oh, I was so happy these files came out. It's about shining accountability and justice for the victims, but I had nothing to do with it. Okay, so then where's the justice for the victims? So nobody, you know, all of you say somebody else had something to do with it, but everybody says nobody had anything to do with it. The FBI says they don't have any other, you know, investigations, any other kind of leads, despite the fact we have one of the procurers of the women just walking free, apparently, like no charges against him. Have we investigated him? I mean, it's just shocking how much the Epstein files show the powerful, how they protect their own, how so many of them knew what was going on, to the extent they found out later, a lot of them tried to protect Epstein, like literally make PR campaigns for his reputation. And this is a dark look at the state of the world, honestly, because Epstein happened a while ago, but the reason everyone cares is because there's other Epsteins around, right? There's other people evading accountability all the time. There's other people that this band of billionaires and power brokers and PR people, even lawmakers, they circle the wagons and protect their own to the point you can never get accountability for anything. So anyway, that's it. It's a hard look at the Epstein files, but it's one we needed to do. But I want to make the disclaimer once again that, look, I've tried to read people's individual denials where I could, but you should just assume everyone that we are talking about firmly denies any kind of criminal wrongdoing. They deny anything untoward about any kind of minors. And given the fact that our government doesn't seem to want to investigate anyone, I would just assume everybody here is completely clear. And so I want to get all those caveats in here because we are talking about some very powerful people with enormous means. And I don't want to be seen as I'm saying stuff. I'm reading the files. I'm giving my personal opinion. But ultimately, this is an indictment of our FBI and the people in power. And that's what I think the Epstein files have really shown us. This has been a long road. Can you believe it all started over here? And we have come all this way with all these files coming out. And it seems like the question is on the table. Are there going to be consequences?
Is there any chance that any of these individuals who partied with Epstein and engaged in, relations with minors will be prosecuted?
Well,
Any
look,
chance?
I'll never say no, and we will always investigate any evidence of misconduct. But as you know, it is not a crime to party with Mr. Epstein, and so as horrible as it's not a crime to email with Mr. Epstein. And some of these men may have done horrible things, and if we have evidence that allows us to prosecute them, you better believe we will. But it's also the kind of thing that the American people need to understand that. It isn't a crime to party with Mr. Epstein. It isn't a crime to have
Didn't look like that's all that was going on some of those photos. I mean, if the photos could speak, some of them look pretty bad.
That's right. And unfortunately, photos can't speak.
What? Alright. Dude is kind of weird. Party with Epstein. Oh, wait.
A massive day for the unemployed. Markiplier is in big trouble. Markiplier released this movie Iron Lung, and instead of going through Hollywood, he self-funded it. But the powers at be apparently removed him from the daily domestic chart despite his movie performing exceptionally well. This is hilarious. They took Iron Lung off the charts. I don't think they liked my #1 movie in America, Victory Laps, haha. But really, it's all good. I fully expected said help to pass the movie eventually, and I'm just so happy to be able to do this at all. So second place behind a legend is fine with me. Thank you all so much for making it such an unbelievable weekend. I couldn't be happier. So the movie that took his place is Melania, a movie about Donald Trump's wife, and nobody cares.
Ooh, nobody
Was that the bite of 6-7?
Yeah. I think Hollywood is scared a movie made by a YouTuber had a better turnout than their movies with overused actors. Your movie was great, Mark. Don't let anyone dim your sparkle. They don't want to admit that a YouTuber brought an independent film to theaters across the planet on word of mouth alone and not the traditional method of spelling billions
Merci.
to bribe them. They are also probably embarrassed how much money the film made and want to pretend it never happened.
Je vais être
You know
franc
what?
avec
To
toi,
be-
ça c'est rien là, mais c'est correct là, si t'aimes ça, tant mieux. Ben c'est parce que l'hiver est fini, fait que j'ai changé. Ils sont revenus du sud. Mais j'ai pas fini là, j'ai les cages, j'ai tout à laver là, ça va être un petit bordel. Ouais.
To be fair, YouTube movies were complete booty cheeks before, like the Logan Paul movie. The budget to make Iron Lung was also reportedly around $3 million, which is very low compared to Hollywood standards. There is no denying that this movie was doing exceptionally well numbers-wise, but the reviews were mixed. There was a very large disparity between critic and audience reviews. Even Mr. Beast chimed in. Markiplier's Iron Lung earns 50% critic score and 90% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. What are your thoughts on the film, now playing exclusively in theaters? This is the problem with Rotten Tomatoes. It's literally only 10 critics that gave it the 50%. The sample size is too small, and why I think the popcorn score is a better metric if you're trying to see if something is worth watching, IMO. IMDb absolutely mugs. Hate to say it, but it's true. Again, for a debut YouTuber movie, 6.8 IMDb is an incredibly good score. The Melania movie had a 1.3. Markiplier went live yesterday with a brief emergency meeting addressing everything.
First off, right now, as you're watching it, guess what? We're still the #1 movie in America. And but not by much.
Jacksepticeye is actually a YouTube legend, man.
Of a feud with Disney, if we're going to be perfectly honest with ourselves.
Markiplier versus Disney is like PewDiePie versus T-Series.
I'm a blue-eyed white dragon while you're just dark magician. This morning, after I had learned that the Iron Lung was missing from the top charts, we were still #1 by 600,000.
I don't want to get all conspiratorial, but it does seem that Hollywood doesn't like independent indie movies being released. This guy said Markiplier was able to film this in a cave with a box of scraps. Disney, who's gonna stop me? Mark. Hello everyone, my name is Markiplier. It really doesn't matter if Iron Lung stays #1. The fact that an independent project could go toe-to-toe with a multi-million-dollar company for even a day is amazing. And this story was going so crazy, even Internet Jesus chimed in.
When I say Hollywood, what's the first thing you think of? Iron Lung, which is Markiplier's debut film here, his directorial debut, has already done over $20 million in the box office and has been the #1 movie through the weekend. These zombies at the top of the food chain probably don't like that a YouTuber just came in there and ate their lunch.
So the funny thing is, Markiplier himself didn't really think much of it when his movie got removed. He sort of wrote it off as a glitch. And then the next day it was still gone, and Markiplier was suspicious. You know, he suspected some foul play. Not to be political, but who the hell wants to watch a movie about a woman? What is she gonna do, the dishes?
For legal reasons, that's a joke.
Anyway, jokes aside, Mr. Beast was incredibly supportive. Love it when people take a risk and it works out. Rooting for him. My channel strives off hatred.
This guy's channel runs on hatred.
But this is a very positive story. I just didn't think it was possible. I just don't want you guys to ever think it's impossible. I watched Iron Lung. All I gotta say was the 50 minutes scene with Jacksepticeye was a bit much, but I understand that it was important to the game's lore. Markiplier's Iron Lung removed from box office charts. Returns making 7 times. NBC News. How a YouTuber's self-financed horror film became a surprise hit. The movie Send a Help ended up topping Iron Lung with a $28 million debut, but $21 million for an indie film is incredible. No, it's literally going neck and neck with a movie with a $40 million production budget. The lead role in The Hunger Games also gave Iron Lung a bit of a review. I have never seen this guy wear something other than a white shirt, man. This gotta be an imposter.
I enjoyed it. I don't think
it
it's
is.
perfect or anything, but I do think it's a very, very strong debut here for a self-financed and distributed YouTuber movie.
And the reason I even brought this up is because Markiplier left a comment on this video. This is so nice of you, dude. I know I don't say it enough or maybe ever, but I respect the hell out of you. You taking a chance and speaking your mind on these projects has truly meant the world to me, and I know I can trust you'll always keep it real with your thoughts. I know it's got flaws, and I'm always grateful for an assist to stare them dead in the eye, but to say such nice things too. You don't know what that means to hear. I've never told you this, but the Starforge PC you sent me was the first computer in my render farm and the best performing. Greatest PCs a gamer could buy. This is enough to make a grown man cry.
This movie sucks. Like, straight up, this movie is not good. Iron Lung, directed by Markiplier himself, is certainly one of the movies of all time.
Who the f is that guy?
I'm sorry, bro, but you're alone on this one.
And as much as I love Markiplier and everything that he's done for my life, holy shit, that movie sucked. For those of you who don't know, the movie Iron Lung is an adaptation of the actual game, Iron Lung. Now, I've never played Iron Lung.
Is this guy being a bit too abrasive? You know, I can't really judge here because I haven't seen the movie myself yet, but...
The only pros that I can really give this movie is the visual effects, and that's it. Everything else was low-key ass. I'm not gonna...
This guy must run off hatred too now. Let's get to some positivity and hear it from the horse's mouth himself.
So this is funny. This is on Friday. The box office numbers. I'm number one, right? I milked it a lot. I said it. It was very funny. I knew that Sam Raimi's movie was going to pass me eventually by the end of the weekend, but I was like, haha, I'm number one. But then, I didn't see this yesterday, but here's Saturdays. So this is Saturday, right? I swear I was on this list, but Iron Lung isn't here anymore. There's no numbers for Iron Lung. It took me off the chart.
Such a bunch of
and I thought,
fuckers.
hey, maybe that's a fluke. maybe there's something wrong, but here's Sunday. I wake up this morning, which reports the day before his numbers. I'm gone. I'm not even above Hamnet. I'm nowhere. Zootopia's back up here. Avatar's up here. Melania's up here. I feel like I should just, like maybe I'd be fine with here. I'd be fine with being on the chart.
The fact that Melania is beating Avatar is the biggest crime here. Avatar fell off. Hollywood, when they saw a YouTuber made more than their studios. Melania being up there just proves this list is rigged. This isn't even me making a statement. Who wants to watch a politics movie, bruh? Imagine Joe Biden in theaters, or God forbid, Jill Biden.
The rewards from burning yourself at both ends to try to make something is just the unquenchable thirst to do it all over again. And that is great.
Reminds me of the book Crime and Punishment. Suffering is what makes life real. And yeah, I know, I'm really performative. I started reading before bed. Straight up, drop me some book suggestions. Literally anything. Classics, philosophy, whatever. This isn't me trying to be gay or like virtuous or something, but even 10 pages a night, it goes a long way. It'll compound and make your life better. Subscribe if my channel runs on hatred.
That's crass.
That's crass. Wake your ass up because it's time to go beast mode. Wake your ass up because it's time to go beast mode. Wake your ass up because it's time to go beast mode. The fuck?
I know I've yapped a lot about Roblox, but oh well, I'm gonna keep doing it. It's one of the biggest platforms on the planet that's used predominantly by children, and it has a huge glaring issue that every single human being with a functioning frontal lobe on the planet can recognize, except for the company itself. Predators. For years, there have been innumerable cases of pedophiles utilizing that platform to prey on children, and Roblox Corp itself just doesn't do enough. It's been a huge criticism shared by tons and tons of people. And the CEO, Dave Buzuki, is so out of touch that he always, like, minimizes how big of a problem this is and instead will shift the focus to making Roblox a dating platform, which is so laughably tone deaf it would be comical if it wasn't so depraved and so degenerate. And that's not a joke. He is always talking and preaching the gospel about how he wants Roblox to be a dating platform, even in the midst of stories like what we're about to cover right now, with kidnapping. Children being kidnapped from people they met through Roblox. There have been so many cases of predators using Roblox and going unpunished by Roblox, by the way. Some of these pedophiles that got arrested didn't even get banned on Roblox, by the way. It's just a huge issue that for some reason this company cannot recognize, and they just do not do enough to ensure the safety of the children that use their platform.
This Omaha native is in a Georgia jail tonight accused of abducting a pair of sisters.
Well, the young girls are home safe in Florida tonight. Deputies say a 19-year-old, Sarah Mulasse, met them on the online gaming platform Roblox.
How many times have you heard of stories just like this one? If you only had $1 for every time this happened, you'd be able to rival Dave Bazooki's multi-million-dollar salary. It is fucking disgusting how common this seems to be, and again, how hands-off Roblox seems to be with safety of its users. Like, they don't really appear to do a whole lot, even though they oftentimes try to flex, like, their new AI moderation tools and shit like that. It's clearly not working. Like, the best they do is maybe get tongue sahur to make a statement saying, hey, talking to strangers is bad. And they're like, well, we did all we could.
It started online. Martin County Sheriff John Butensieg telling us 2 young girls from Indiantown began talking with a man through the game Roblox.
From that gaming app, these girls were then moved from Roblox over to Snapchat.
This is the standard procedure here from the pedophile playbook. So in this case, Sarah Mulasse met the victims on Roblox and then got them to a different platform in order to chat further and groom them and then eventually kidnap them. Now, historically, Roblox likes to just put in this hard line in the sand like, well, off our platform, not our problem. Not on our plate, not anymore. Now you deal with that mess over there. Recent times, though, they've started to try and do a little bit more to stop that off-platform transition from happening from Roblox to Discord in a lot of cases. In this case, it was Snapchat. But again, they're clearly not doing enough, and I understand, and this is something I've said every time I've talked about this, that at Roblox's scale, where it's one of the biggest games in the world, millions and millions and millions of players every single day, I know how difficult it would be to moderate that and ensure this kind of thing is, like, impossible to happen. I get that. But it just feels like safety isn't an actual priority of this company. And it oftentimes feels like they're at odds with people on the platform that try and police it themselves, like notably with Schlep, where, you know, I already talked about this, I won't just regurgitate the whole story, but there are people that actively try and get pedophiles arrested after, like, catching them on Roblox. And Roblox themselves has a huge problem calling them, like, vigilantes that they don't, you know, sign off on, and would rather they work collaboratively with Roblox. But the thing is, when people do try to work collaboratively with Roblox to catch bad people like this, Roblox does not give them the tools, the access, or the support in order to help them with those investigations, or help them, like they don't actually take in the information to do anything on their own, which is why people like Schlep or others that catch predators on Roblox take matters into their own hands. Or even, like, local law enforcement at times have stepped in and arrested these predators way before Roblox does. It just seems like Roblox isn't taking the issue seriously. It doesn't feel like they view it as this huge problem that it actually is.
Soon, gifts like food began showing up at the home.
All these things I just mentioned were indicative of what we believe to be a grooming process that the suspect was doing with these young girls.
The sheriff says her Mulasse was the man on the other side of the phone, but that changed on Saturday.
Our suspect left Omaha, Nebraska, and drove straight through, we believe, to Indiantown, arriving January 31st, Saturday.
This revolting freak drove like 23 straight hours to kidnap these children. So apparently they had been communicating for a little while. He was even sending, like, food to their house, apparently. I guess he was just, like, ordering them Domino's or something, fucking box of chocolates, whatever. Then it eventually culminated with him making that 23-hour drive down there I guess he was probably practicing in some Roblox driving simulators or something to endure the long straight shot. So he got there, kidnapped these children, and drove off.
Soon came a 911 call from the family of the 12 and 15.
What the fuck? What? Wait.
Very cringe. Female. It's a little bit difficult because women, when they say the truth, kind of get shit on a lot, right? Because nobody really likes an outspoken woman on the internet. There's definitely a lot of, a lot of sexism that goes on, which sucks. But no, I think she was usually spot on for a lot of her takes. Sure, she had a couple misses every now and then, but not too many egregious ones. Well, we all do, right? Including myself. Does this seem like someone who's like belittling them and harassing them? Or is this just like me being nice? Like, am I crazy? I feel like I'm being nice. No, there's no false accusations. What happens is that these women, they have sex with these guys 10 years ago, and then 10 years later they say, oh, well, I really enjoyed that when we did it, but now we're broken up. So you raped me. I got something cooking for her. And man, Pink, you're gonna love that.
Okay. Nice. Really interesting. Pretty interesting, guys. Pretty interesting.
Pandemics are a real bummer. There's nothing good that comes from a pandemic. It's all bad stuff from top to bottom. But we'd be lying to ourselves if we didn't acknowledge that Zoom might be one of the best things to ever happen to court. I have a guilty pleasure of tuning into disastrous Zoom court hearings, and they happen all the time. Every single day there's a new atrocious Zoom court moment. And yesterday we were blessed with an absolute banger, a scrumptious little masterpiece. A gentleman was scheduled to appear in court over Zoom about a suspended driver's license. And he does his due diligence as any good citizen would. He joins the Zoom meeting. However, he joined while driving with a suspended license, which the whole hearing was about, leaving the entire court stunned. Absolutely, it was as if for a moment every member of that courthouse stared into the eyes of a basilisk and was turned to stone, just instantly petrified in sheer bewilderment that he had called in while driving in a case about a suspended license that he has, driving without a valid license. And what's even more interesting is this isn't the only time it's happened. This one just happened to be the newest and more entertaining one that I've seen. I was wondering why so many people all of a sudden just asked me about, like, the guy with a suspended license joining a Zoom call while driving. Apparently this just happened again. I remember something like this happened years ago. This must be kind of common.
Or calls case, People versus Corey Harris.
On behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Tate for Mr. Harris, who should be present via Zoom.
Mr. Harris, are you driving?
Actually, I'm pulling into my doctor's office, actually. So just give me 1 second. I'm parking right now.
It's an auto-driving vehicle, Your Honor. I'm here babysitting it.
You stationary?
I'm pulling in right now at
Thanks,
this
Reset
second.
Milkshake.
Yes, I am.
All right.
Brother, we can still see the environment You were parked for like a second there, and he's still like, yeah, almost parked, parking, almost parked, as he's trying to like think of reasons for like how he's gonna get out of this. Almost parked, almost there. His membership spark.
I'm pulling in right now at this second. Yes, I am.
All right. What are we doing?
Your Honor, we are respectfully requesting an adjournment in this matter, up possibly 2 to 4 weeks if the court would allow.
Oh my god, that was the most aggressive frown I've ever seen. He is mean mugging so hard. Cedric Simpson is fucking... He's got like a cartoonish frown. That's like an emoji frown. Thanks, Zuri, Sub Queen.
Okay. So maybe I don't understand something. This is a driving while license suspended,
That is correct, Your Honor.
and he was just driving. And
Your Honor, we don't have... Allegedly driving. We don't have all of the evidence. We can only see from his chest up. Anything... This could be green screen. It could be deepfaked.
and he didn't have a license.
Oh. Is with the charges, Your Honor, yes.
No, I'm looking at his
Yes.
record. He doesn't have a license. He's suspended and he's just driving.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Well, he's listening. Say it to him.
Oh.
He raised his hand. Can you ask him a question, Your Honor? Is this real? Is this fucking real? Wait, Tampa Bay. That's my neck of the woods. Hey, hold on. I gotta learn a little bit more about this. Perhaps he's been framed. Everyone here is stun locked. It's just complete fucking silence that has fallen on the courtroom. This guy's doing his best to keep it together. Her as well.
Hello?
Hey. How's it going, Corey?
1 minute, Mr. Harris.
What do you mean 1 minute? Let him defend himself. There's a lot of slander being thrown around in there.
I don't even know why he would do that. So, defendant's bond is revoked in this matter. Defendant has turned himself into the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. today.
Can you get his side of the story, please, Your Honor?
Result in a bench warrant with no bond. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Harris, I'll be giving you a call.
Okay.
Court calls case, People versus Maya Isom.
I feel like we may have brushed over this case a little too quickly, Your Honor.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate for Ms. Isom.
There was more to this story. It was like a transformer, more than meets the eye. Time to drive back home. Yeah, true. So what was the verdict? We don't know yet. It's still in deliberation. Your Honor, he's not driving. The car is just rolling in neutral with him in it. He's been kidnapped, which is why he was so silent. He was speaking in code. Clearly, he was just trying to prove that his license should be reinstated. Honestly, he could have made that point. Like, as you can see, Your Honor, I'm doing just fine here. I would appreciate if you'd reinstate my license now. Do you remember the court Zoom call when someone joined in with a cat filter? There's been a lot of... I'm super happy that so many of these court things have gone to Zoom because it always ends up just going online. And some of them are just amazing. Like the guy that joined, I think it was I don't remember what it was, like what he was joining for, but it was something that he needed to appear in court for, so he did it over Zoom, and he joined with the name Buttfucker9000. And the judge was like, "What is your name, sir? That is not your name." And he's like, "Oh, God, I don't know how that got there. Yeah, I'm not... Oh, God."
Then we'll bring this fool in.
Oh, Buttfucker3000, sorry. 9,000 was like mini versions in the
Good
future.
morning, sir. What's your name?
My bad, guys. I apologize.
Yeah, you. Yes.
Nathaniel Saxon, sir.
Your name's not Buttfucker3000, you yo-ho. Logging into my court with that as your screen name.
Why?
That in a little bit.
Big miscalculation from Jason
What kind of
Statham.
idiot logs into court like that?
100% that guy was just logging into the Zoom thing and thought he just needed like a temporary name. Because there are some things where you just type in like a name and it never shows up. It just uses your real name or whatever. It's just like, all right, whatever, Buttfucker3000. And it just runs with it. It's so good. Also, Joseph, please change the angle. When I first watched this video, I thought for sure he had his cock out. I was like really thinking I was looking at this man stroking his meat. That is a terrible angle, Joseph. Get control of your court, Jeffrey. He probably had that name before joining. Oh, that's true. Doesn't Zoom log your names? Yeah, maybe he did have that name with like his friends or something. That's a good point. I forgot about that. Look at the one for the cat filter. All right, we'll do the cat filter next.
Ponton, I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings. You might want to take
We're
a look.
trying to. Can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but
Why? It's fine. This is helping your case.
prepared to go forward with it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
Thank you for clarifying.
I can see that.
Jeffrey Tubin getting caught jerking off. Yeah, I made a whole video on that one. That one was great.
I just don't. Okay, I'm sorry. Maybe it's just me, but. So that's their girl's name.
Please, let's have some fun.
Oh, that's the last rank. Shit, dude.
You're no fun.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to rank up this. What do you want, bird? You want me to? I'm gonna kiss this bird so hard. Not these. Locked. I'll do simple mission. I don't really understand, so... Oh, okay. Frame drop. Oh, I need to do melee kills? Alright. Honestly, it looks crazy good. I'm not gonna lie. Being a Warframe player since 2015, this is weird. In a good way. I mean, like, it's super like tight. The environment is super tight. Of course, we had the Plains of Eidolons, but still, like, I felt some restriction in the Plains of Eidolons where, like, you know, like, we could reach the limit of the map really quick. This seems to be even more like, yes, it is corridors, but it seems way bigger. And I think the DE team is gonna do even more of that. It's really impressive. That's all I wanted to say. Now give me my sponsor money, Warframe. Thank you very much. Oh. Oh. The X. Don't mind my incompetence in this game mode. I am just trying my best. So that's what I'm talking about, like the fucking, like, you know what I mean? Like, it kind of goes hard. Like, the map, even if it's not like an open world, there's still like big wounds like that everywhere. It's going crazy. Oh. I wonder when my achievement is gonna rock. Make it personal. Oops. Shit happened, I guess. Is that another big bite pizza? Nice.
Signals down to 50%. Take it to 0.
Actually, I'm glad nobody joined. At least I can do my stuff, you know? What? What? Fuck, dude, I didn't know. Okay, well, the achievement didn't work because I'm at 111 and nothing occurred. So, yeah. All right. The fuck is that? That's kind of cool. Alright, fuck that shit. No more melee kill. We're going full Warframe mode. Let me try again a little bit more. Maybe it's gonna pop up. Alright.
You got the worst of it. Now come on home, fam.
Oh yeah, I have a moto. Aha. Oh, okay. What's it called? Automysical swim. Badass. Okay, good. Next, so we did that. Experimental arc relay. Okay, we're gonna do. Why not coconut? Why not coconut? Why not coconut? Why not coconut? Is that the scandal true? Ah, that's what confused the fuck out of me. Okay, now I get it. That was the achievement that was trying to tell me, but that kind of confused the fuck out of me at first. Why not coconut? Why not coconut? What the fuck? Coda worm. Easy, motherfuckers. Are the Coda equivalent to Grinners? Okay, I can be on top of building. Okay, Warframe reached peaked. Absolute peak. That is peak, by the way. So what do I do? Do I... Okay. What is this supposed to be and what am I supposed to do about it? Do I need to take the bazooka? Ah, fair enough. Do I need to shot again? I guess so, yeah. Oh, okay, we need to shoot multiple times. Got it. Can I just like blast it with my ult? That's like the equivalent. Whatever. They're putting shit on the floor. No! Got it, motherfuckers. Okay, so I take the bazooka, and I shoot, and then I shoot, and then I shoot. God damn it. Is that a phone? What the fuck is that? I'm gonna go on the top of this building. Oh wait, there's something here. What is that? Oh! Oh! That's where the secret is. Can I go on this building? Oh, okay. Prevents me. How is that not equivalent to a bazooka? This is probably even stronger than a bazooka. Wow, kick-le! He looks like he's on drug. I guess I'm gonna have to use bazookas. Yeah. Why does he look like that? He looks like a cartoon character. The tank and the guy talking. Give me just a second. Let me grab the bazooka inside you. Move! Oh, this is where it comes from. Yo! Welcome to the Gooning. We live in the Gooner. Oh! If it's innervate, it's good. I need it. I'm so badass. Never mind. I'm so badass. Never mind. I'm so badass. Fuck you, bitch. I'm so badass. That's not my Warframe. Yo, something is going on. I don't know what to say. The fuck is going on? I honestly have no clue what I'm doing right now. Like, who are these people? Nice. Did I just got a red one? Hmm. Nice. Okay. We're gonna do that, but before we're gonna make sure. Actually, I think there's nothing. I'm gonna do my standing today before 7 p.m., which is in 3 hours and 30 minutes. I'm gonna need 20,000 for that.
sector-relevant personages in mining,
Ooh.
personnel, and security. This sector has a new master.
Okay, you know what? I'm done. Unless there's something else I need to be aware of. Oh, yeah, that's what I wanted to check. Because I'm almost done with the Sanctum Anatomica, so I can buy the shard from the shiny bird. Shiny treasure.
Come on. I was trained to assist our comedians. So much of what we do resembles magic. No wonder we found demons in the forbidden spaces.
Thank you very much. Try for Volca. No. Strange first ending.
I know what it must have cost
Volca. This. 5 times that.
Research keeps the Cavia busy, and that, a fresh opportunity to continue Albrecht's work.
Yeah, I'm gonna be short. So it's gonna be tomorrow. In 3 hours, actually. I gotta speedrun everything in 3 hours. So I have to finish my X to 22,000, and I'm gonna have to finish this. So in 3 hours, I can unlock the shiny bird right here. And I can buy this. You know what? I'll do right now a mission for this. La cathédrale.
Can you imagine my excitement to learn this place had a butler? Only to be matched by my dismay when I discovered it was Lloyd. Yes. Now, during the old war, we don't live.
La cathédrale.
I might actually go mad.
If you believe this place to be dreary, you should see from whence we come.
Almost worse than these two relics of the past.
Another time. Compassion is good for the soul.
One must.
Did I finish all my...
Voices in the walls. Hi. How long someone
Yeah.
has...
Okay, I'll just do a random bounty.
Let us to work. Time. Time waits for no one, eh?
Ooh. That's perfect. Because they're really weak to electricity, so if you just tax the electricity, it's gonna be even better than magnetic. Magnetic. Wait, something's wrong. Yeah. Yeah, that's better. Much better. Okay. Upgrade. Go. Upgrade.
Your attention, please.
It puts a... what the fuck am I shooting, but... Alright, well I guess I'm gonna one-shot everything now. And now we're doing it another one. Another time. My bad. So we can max out this. And after that we're going back in the X. Yo.
Only 5,000 more.